This is gonna be a good day for Kamen Rider and Saber.
Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a quick little bit of Rider news slash rumor a little bit, because as of right now the toy listings I'm going to be talking about haven't been confirmed, but I figure it was at least somewhat decent enough information to talk about this, because a little while ago we did get the official trademark for next year's Rider, or next series Rider, which is Kamen Rider Saber, but that, just a name alone, didn't feel worthy of a video when there was so much else so many other videos I needed to get out at the time, so I wanted to wait for something else, and we have some potential toy listings with some potential themes and all that stuff that I'll just kind of talk about loosely, and again, it's not confirmed yet, but I thought it would be fun to speculate, and then the name kind of implies some things too, and obviously I'll keep you guys updated when we get more concrete info and pictures and all that stuff. But basically, the toy listings, not confirm, but speculate a couple things. There's going to be a multi-rider series again, with maybe around 7 early on that we know of from these listings, with 3 of them having one driver that they share and then the others getting a different kind. So I was thinking when I heard this, oh, we haven't had a multi-rider series in a while, and then I kind of remembered that 0-1, and then we started with 5, which isn't exactly like a Ryuki type multi-rider series. So I don't know. Part of me wants to go back to something really simple where we'll have one rider and then maybe a second one later on and keep it kind of simple. And the other part of me would like them to go all out and do a Ryuki Dragon Knight style 13 riders series, and then 12 of them will be evil, but then they'll all be friends at the end because no one can remain an antagonist in this series. But I don't know. So that's the thing. But the main thing about the theme is, according to these listings, it appears to be kind of a mix of creatures and elements and fairy tales a little bit. There's dragon and fire and water elements, and there's fairy tale creatures, I think there's unicorns in there, and then there was a Peter Pan. One of them was Peter Pan, so kind of fairy tale stuff, stories like that. I mean, hopefully, whatever, I don't know if Peter Pan would be a form or whatever, but hopefully if they do something with Peter Pan, that seems weird to talk about, but if they do something with Peter Pan, hopefully they tell the real true story about Peter Pan, of how he's Rumpelstiltskin's evil dad. No other stories tell the real story behind him. They just oh, he's the whimsical dad. No, he's Rumpelstiltskin's evil dad. The dude's a tyrant. I do kind of like the general idea, whether this ends up being exactly true or just in the neighborhood. I do kind of like the idea of a more mythical-based rider, because I feel like we've had a lot of tech. I mean, Build incorporated creatures, but it was techy. Geo was techy and trashy, and then 0-1 was very techy, which, don't get me wrong, I like the suit designs for some of these, but it'd be kind of a nice change of pace, because I feel like we haven't really had that in a while, and I like the idea of maybe something kind of magical with some creatures and stuff like that. And apparently the gimmick might be crests, so you got courage, friendship, love, sincerity, reliability, knowledge, hope, light. No, that's the wrong franchise. I don't know how they would look. Providing there's something neat, I think that could be potentially fun. It sounds like, though, being crest, they probably wouldn't be electronic, and I don't know, they could go one of 2 ways. Personally, I feel the most exciting gimmicks are the ones with electronics built in, like Gaia Memories and Lock Seeds, and most recently Progrise Keys. I think they're a lot more fun than non-electronic gimmicks that are just some sort of plastic that activates sounds. But they could end up being O-Metals. That would be kind of cool. I really did dig O-Metals. They didn't have electronics, but they kind of had that coin collecty vibe, and they looked cool. So maybe it could go in that direction. And the name Saber in general kind of implies it might have, I mean, it could be cutting edge Saber, electronics, printers or something, I don't know. But it kind of just implies to me that it might be something more on the mythical side anyways. So that's what I'm definitely hoping for, something in this neighborhood, and then they take advantage of the theme. Because with Ghost, I was really excited because I love paranormal stuff, and the suits were all Halloween-y. I'm yes, a paranormal series! And then they doubled down on the eyeball theme. So I'm hoping they take advantage of it, but like I said, I'm hoping that we do get something in that sort of more magical, mythical, or medieval realm, or something a little bit different than techie stuff. But ultimately, I just want the show to be good. It would be kind of cool to have a protagonist that was badass again. At some point, I just want a badass main rider, a Red Ranger, and a Six Ranger. Even if we have one, and then it doesn't happen again for bazillion years. I just want one break from a loudmouth, idealistic youth that shouts word salad in our faces. I just want a badass character. But I hope the suit designs continue what I think would work really well for 0-1 for me, which I really liked the sort of sleek, more back to basics look. Like, some of them were a little funny, but for the most part, we kind of got a more normal series, whereas before we were starting to get into these forms that looked like algae growths. And so I really hope we stick with that sort of more simplistic aesthetic, and then hopefully, you know, just no Terminator propaganda. That's what I'm hoping for. You know, a badass protagonist, no Terminator propaganda, and some sleek suits, and just the show to be good. What do you guys think? What do you want to see out of the next Rider in terms of theme? What do you think of these potential rumors of crests and fairy tale creatures and all that stuff? Until next time, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.